What will be the answer?
My answer now your family member now.
Family member. Okay. Hello.
Your family member.
Hello, family member. Who is there?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
MC too much.
I greet you.
You too much. Oh.
Thank you. What will be that your name?
Na vampire.
Vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, vampire.
Then na MC for real, na MC real, na
MC for real, for real.
My brother, Ayelo, I greet you.
I greet you too. So is it that your question, eh? Know how when you go to say your auntie's brother no go be your uncle. Your uncle.
I like this guy. I like him. No, he don't understand the question. Now, make I take it again.
Okay.
If your auntie's brother is not your uncle, but he said no.
No way you go tell him say
must be my uncle. He try and back give. Make I say another person. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Alayo Lawa Azoto.
Na number 1.
Azoto. I greet you.
That matter when you bring from that thing. I don't want to talk about. I don't say that I need to do Ali with my sister. Na Ali I go talk.
Now waiting.
Ali.
Concubine. That's Ali. Am I right? So if your auntie's brother is not your uncle, what relation is he to you, Ali? I don't understand. Ali. You are a man, you'll be having Marshall Ali. Abego, who is there? Hello. Kill your radio, Abeg. Okay, call me back. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Where to be that your name?
I don't know.
You say?
I will Felix from Ife.
Confirm. Felix, so yeah.
Oh yeah, no. The answer na your father.
Your father. The answer na your father. Why did they stress him?
The answer, no, now what you talk?
Your father.
Na your father.
For inside WhatsApp, this person na cousin be the answer. Your name na IBS. Okay, IBS say the person na your cousin. Then another person come here and here. He say is your brother-in-law. Is your brother-in-law. Emmanuel from Oshogbo. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Michael Chinch, na you again?
Yes, boss.
Confirm.
The answer is my sister's husband.
Your sister's husband. So if your sister's husband is your brother-in-law. Abi?
No, I'm not getting that
one. Okay, make I see this person.
Hello, MC too much.
I greet you.
MC for I greet you as well. Hello.
My brother, you did it.
I would just see from Malaysia again.
OJC.
Yes, so.
Where to be the answer?
Your dad, your father.
Yep. Your dad. Your dad, your father.
I like this. Your dad, your father.
Hello. Who is there? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Where to be your name again?
My name is Alausa from Oshogbo.
Alausa from Oshogbo. I greet you, Alausa.
Yeah. He's not very hard now. He's just an ordinary brother.
He's just ordinary brother.
Yes.
Okay, somebody talk here but inside WhatsApp. He say the answer is my step uncle. Is there anything like step uncle?
Oh, that will weak me.
No, wait, that one deep. Say anything where they call step uncle.
You think when we see we never hear.
Spirit worker say the answer now your uncle. Okay.
And we talk say no be your uncle.
I know. I don't understand. For the question, it also not be your uncle, but you say no, now your uncle must be. Donato from Ayetoro say the answer is your father. Okay, how many your father don't get that for your father? Okay, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, my name is Lawa.
Let me kill your radio.
My name is Alayo from Omobola.
Okay, what will be the answer?
The answer is your father.
Okay.
Why would it? Your father. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Azonto, what will be the answer?
See, I don't hear that way with that time. That is why.
Okay.
Now my brother will call him.
Your brother. The people, in fact, now, if they call me, you need to tell me why you say the answer and the answer.
Yeah.
Your brother, your step
People wait to say your father.
And they will tell me, don't say your father.
Your father.
This man say name na Teslim. He say na your father. Teslim, well done no. Ayomide from Google say the answer na your nephew. Okay, hello. Wait, we no go here today.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. My friend here.
Ben, I greet you. Where for the talk like this?
From Osogbo.
Okay, wait to be the answer.
The answer na your papa.
This person.
Oh my!
Look at you, father.
This is a compost of bubble.
Make I take this last one back. Hello.
Hello.
Michael Chinchin.
I don't. Listen, I don't vex. Now your papa be the answer.
I know why they say now your father. You don't hear the question. This person here before I knock one music by Casey called Vanessa. He say he named na Orange City from OC. He say the answer na your father. Apostle from Oshogbo said the answer na your father. Make we hear this one where they come from Casey. They call him Vanessa.
My shot the deep bass.
Casey, Rihanna. I met this fine girl called Vanessa. She do me strong thing for Malaysia. I'm 2 and 2 with some for Chicago. She like my kitchen and the other room. Baby like to play, and I like to say, give me I go take me, baby. Make it no delay. I don't know what I do, but I see how, baby. I will do you the way you want to, but I see how. Oh, give me the, cause I'm the woman. Oh, give me the, oh, me put it back. Oh, give me the, the one your man. Oh, give me the, oh, me put it back. Oh, give me the, cause I'm the woman. Oh, give me the, oh, me put it back. Oh, give me the, the one your man. Oh, give me the. If you see how they smile, touch my sense, oh, one your man. If you see how they dance, they beat my heart, oh, one your man. Vanessa.
Yes, Vanessa. Casey na knock this bedu. Country people, you feel the vibes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, Casey na Havana. Based on Lipopo, you know, turn out with the Kodadon, pull over, baby. You know, this kind of country people without clothes, we greet all of now. Ola from Oshogbo, we greet you where you say now your father. And other people like that, we talk say your father, your father. One person because now your papa. All right, I enjoyed this question. I make me no change them because the first said no fair get them.
Yeah.
But later, it come be like say they can't understand. Say the answer now your father.
When people don't drop their own opinion,
They're gonna consider the answer now your father.
Your father will be the answer.
No, like your father.
No, you don't get when the first person can't drop and say now your father or now that time people want to say your father. Your father.
You don't need to stress this your father where you stress. Because from the question that you did talk about, I say if your auntie's brother is not your uncle,
then now your father.
Now your father. No, me they read the question, not you.
What thing
I
you
say
they talk? What thing you they talk now of father? Me I they talk say now your father.
All right, I told all of now where shook body for this matter. The reason why be your father be say, they say your auntie's brother that is not your uncle. Your father is your auntie's brother. You know if you call your father uncle.
Your auntie.
Your brother. Now your father.
Your
so
father.
you know if you call an uncle.
You know if you call
because now your father.
The cousin na your father. Yeah.
Now the cousin.
No cousin na your father.
Okay, I think see the cousin. Maybe we understand what you they do here. We don't much break next week now another time 2:30 to 6 o'clock. Now so they do until Saturday. Rave 91.7 FM. Sharply follow us for all our social media platforms at Rave 917 FM. Then my name has no change. MC Tomoji Lagedo one. Ebony of Nigerian comedy. Like this, follow me inside Twitter at MC Too Much One, Instagram MC_Too Much. MC for it, sharply drop your hand to say.
My country people for Instagram, go follow me for official MC for real, MC for REAL, for Twitter official MC for real, and for Facebook for real 011.
Your Facebook for real 011. Are you just Bond? Are your number? Your name carry 011. Okay, 007. All these things they are. No, we have repetition of numbers. 007, 011. The number repeated itself twice.
For real different.
Okay. I'm not gonna fail to appreciate the moral support coming from a priceless,
a lol.
Oh,
Lord,
Ademola, Esengo. Say you Atanda here they drop your moral support. Like say na MB. Another sir.
Ademola Esengo. Which one? Ademola Esengo.
Okay, Esengo.
Hey, which one? You don't do. Okay.
I beg we don't they go make that join our weekend.
Gangsta property. Now Jared Fulber. Yaga. What up? See? They say, me tell them. Killing up public's not a problem. Man, I talk shit, me tell them show them. One of them I hate me rise above them. Me get in the show and knock down the kids. Me lost them. I want it all upon me. That's why them I want it all upon me. Him say, girl, I want it all upon me. Girl, I want it all upon me. Him calling my phone. Leave me alone. Keep asking on. Leave me alone. I'm taking. Yo, boy, I'm taking. Yeah, man, I'm taking. Yo, I'm taking. I'm taking. What them talk about? She bother. On the beach, on the street, and nurse say she murder. Lyrical assassin, she fit kill no bother. Man, I dance to Godmother. Me say killing them again and again. Like a memory cardiac, me have to step again. Cardiac arrest on the sound of me name. Me all about the cheese, me not care about the femme. Him say, man, I want it all upon me. Girl, I want it all upon me. Him say, girl, I want it all upon me. Girl, I want it all upon me. Him calling my phone. Leave me alone. Baby, want you some more. Him calling my phone. So me say, man, I'm taking. Yo, boy, I'm taking. Yo, man, I'm taking. What up? I'm taking. Yeah, boy. Me say, man, I want it all upon me. Me say, girl, I want it all upon me. Him say, girl, I want it all upon me. Him say, man, I want it all upon me.
If you don't know where you are, Rave 91.7 FM is where you are.
Why say?
I don't wanna wait for nobody. I just wanna dance with you, mommy. I put my hands on your body. Don't be scared, don't you worry. I don't wanna wait for nobody. I just wanna dance with you, mommy. I put my hands on your body. Don't be shy, don't you worry. Too much juice, too much love, too much love. girls so they don't even matter. Cause when you come through, you know there's nobody better. Number one lover, I want you, cause you kinda want you. Need something like Stella, Rihanna, baby girl, come through. Got girls online with it, holla now, so they won't blow. But I did turn them down, cause I you, girl, me, I want you.
Ain't nobody can stop us.
Zach and Elliot live and
Everything got rocks.
Rave FM 91.7. Amazing music. Quality talk.
With Rave 91.7 FM, I get informed, learn new things, listen to my favorite music. What else can I say? It's just an eye-opener to the world of exciting radio.
Let's turn it up.
Relax and unwind because we're going live. 91.7 Wave FM.
This is the news at 6 on Rave 91.7 FM.
Here are the top stories of the news. Ocean poll hopes today amidst low turnout of voters. Former aviation minister reacts to Buhari's order to tackle the propagation of hate speeches. Kwakwanso insists to visit Kano on January 30. On the foreign scene, at least 10 Malian soldiers killed in an attack on camp. Good evening and welcome to the news at 6 on Rave 91.7 FM. My name is Stella Bolarinwar. Now the news in detail. Official results of the local government elections held today in Osun State will any moment from now be announced by the State Independent Electoral Commission, OSIEC. Collation of votes had earlier ended in the 71 wards where elections took place. Rave FM News gathered that the local government poll was largely peaceful, but there were reports of disturbances and disruption of elections in some wards. Here is the report.
The local government elections in Osun State came about 10 years since the last one was held. However, today's poll, though largely peaceful, did not go without a number of hitches, with some reports of violence and disruption of the processes on polling units. The election was held in 71 wards, as the State Electoral Commission, HOSEC, Idile announced that 318 wards out of the 389 wards in the state were unopposed. Rave FM News observed a low turnout of voters in polling units visited, but security officials were on ground to prevent a breakdown of law and order, a development described by voters as commendable.
By the time we start the exercise by 8 o'clock, we sensitize them, we guide them how they will do the elections successfully, and we commence the election by 8 o'clock sharp. No problem, so they are maintaining orderliness.
Can say the conduct of election is going on smoothly. There is no problem, no rancor. There is no problem as far as the election is concerned.
However, some voters at Ward 8 Ayetoro Polling Unit 2, Kobong Bogwe in Oloroda North, and at Akogun Compound Unit 8, Ward 10D Okini alleged incidents of rigging and ballot box snatching.
We expected the election to be free and fair. People imported voters from other zones to come and vote here. Their names are not on the voters register. And when the residents of this place tried to challenge them, they were assaulting them, beating them.
Most people don't find their name in the list. When the election began, some talk came from nowhere and they begin to beat people.
What's happened this afternoon is that we're in polling unit at Sakokun compound, so we just saw some stranger. So the guy just entered that unit and slid the ballot box and took it away.
When Rave FM News contacted the spokesman of OSIEC, Tunefana Wakbo, he disclosed that efforts were ongoing to arrest the culprits, while a decision will be made at a later time. Meanwhile, while speaking to newsmen in Iragbiji, Chief of Staff to the Osun State Governor, Boyega Oyetola, commended the Electoral Commission and the people for their conduct during the poll.
I feel great. The turnout was quite impressive. The whole thing went well. It was free and fair. The OSEC did a good job in terms of logistics, deploy all materials to the units where voting took place. And the officials were polite, handled everybody politely. It was good.
The local government election was contested by 6 political parties, including Accord Party, ACPN, ADP, APC, Labour Party, and SDP. Results of the poll are expected to be made public soon by the Electoral Commission. Olalekun Akindoju, Rave FM News.
A Lagos lawmaker, Prince Adebisi Yusuf, has advised the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to be ready to face new challenges in 2019 general elections and address them accordingly. Yusuf, representing Alimosho Constituency 1 in the Lagos State House of Assembly, gave the advice in an interview with newsmen in Lagos. According to him, INEC needs to foresee possible areas politicians may want to scuttle the process to prevent the exercise from being free and fair. On the multiplication of political parties, the lawmaker said some of the newly registered parties were dead on arrival because they could not even produce a local government councillor. Ahead of tomorrow's opening of the 30th African Union Summit, President Muhammadu Buhari started his 4-day engagement in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, by joining 14 other members of the Peace and Security Council. According to a statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the African leaders discussed the persistence of violent conflicts and crisis situations in some parts of the continent, an upsurge of internally displaced persons and refugees. Shehu said the leaders also discussed climate change and its consequences, as well as the issue of the derailment of national development programs. He further explained that the PSC's major duty is to conduct early warning and preventive diplomacy, facilitate peacemaking, establish peace support operations, and in certain circumstances, recommend intervention in member states to promote peace, security, and stability. In other news, the speakers of the Houses of Assembly in the Southeast geopolitical zone have rounded off their meeting in Awka, the Anambra state capital. According to reports, the speakers avoided any discussion about the federal government's plan to establish cattle colonies in parts of the country as a solution to the herdsman-farmers feud. Speaking at the meeting, the chairman of the conference and speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Mrs. Rita Madugu, called for more robust synergy among the Houses of Assembly in the Southeast Zone through the establishment of a Southeast Legislative Implementation Committee. Madugu maintained that the Southeast Conference of Speakers was not opposed to reforms that would move the country forward. She said the conference was particular about those laws and reforms that would unite and develop the zone and provide meaningful livelihood for the people. Meanwhile, paramount ruler and king of Iwo land, Osun State, Abdul Rashid Akambi, has tackled the federal government, saying that field grazing and cattle roaming is barbaric and should be abolished at once, as it does not conform to modernization and the 21st century development of any country. The monarch made this statement during a meeting with stakeholders at his palace, focusing on solutions to herdsmen incessant attacks on innocent Nigerians. He said no government that wants to move forward will encourage grazing, and that there is no place in the world where government acquires land on behalf of herdsmen for the purpose of cattle grazing. Abdul Rashid, however, advised the federal government that the solution to Fulani herdsmen clash is proper orientation and education on modernized animal farming and not acquiring hectares of land on behalf of herdsmen as grazing zone. Former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, has reacted to an order by President Muhammadu Buhari directing security agencies to tackle the propagation of hate speeches, especially through social media. In a tweet via his Twitter handle, the former minister stated that the order will only strengthen hate speakers. According to him, the resist evil and oppose tyranny is a divine obligation and sacred duty every true leader must honor. Recall that Nigerians yesterday kicked against Buhari's order to clamp down on those patronizing hate speeches on social media. Despite securing bail reprieve last night, former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Engineer Babashir Lawal, is facing fresh hurdles over all contracts awarded by the Presidential Initiative for the Northeast. He is expected to account for contracts worth over 5 billion naira, which were awarded by Pine under his control as the final approving authority. It was also learned that the EFCC has also quizzed the former brother, the younger brother of ex-SGF, Mr. Amidu Lawal, who took over the running of the Roller Vision Engineering Limited after following the appointment of Babashir. More than 30 companies are also under probe in connection with alleged massive fraud in Pine, including a 200 million naira contract awarded to Roller Vision for the clearing of invasive plant species in Yobe State. to security marches. Former Kano State Governor Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso has dared the police, insisting that he would visit the state on January 30 as planned, despite the police command's order to suspend the visit due to security reasons. The State Commissioner of Police, Alayo Rabiu Yusuf, during a press conference, warned that Senator Kwankwaso could face the wrath of the law if violence erupts as a result of the visit. However, in a swift response to the police advice, Kwankwaso said nothing would stop him from visiting Kano to meet his constituents. Recall, the police had urged Senator Kwankwaso to postpone the proposed visit on the premise that there is apprehension among the general populace, as well as the tendency to hijack the visit by some politicians or miscreants to cause mayhem. Security agents have been issued presidential order to arrest any illegal bearers of arms. The directive was sequel to Thursday's National Security Council meeting attended by President Muhammadu Buhari's Defense Minister Mansour Ali and the service chiefs. Given an update on the meeting on his Twitter handle yesterday, Buhari said his government was stepping up efforts to tackle the proliferation of small arms and light weapons across the country. Sights of Fulani headsmen going about with AK-47 and reports of their wanton killings of Nigerians have sparked outrage across the land. In the meantime, the Nigerian army today said its troops recorded more successes in the ongoing clearance operation to root out remnants of the terrorists in Sambisa Forest. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka, said this in a statement issued in Maiduguri. Kukasheka confirmed the killing of 7 Boko Haram insurgents and destruction of 23 assaulted vehicles in the operations. He disclosed that troops of Operation Lafia Dole, under the Operation Deep Punch 2, yesterday attacked insurgents' hideouts in Sambisa Forest and northern part of Borno. He said that the troops, with support of Nigerian Air Force, killed 7 insurgents, while several others escaped with gunshot wounds, adding that the troops destroyed 11 gun trucks, 12 pickup vans, and 30 bicycles, while 1 gun truck and assorted ammunition were recovered in the operation. The Nigeria Customs Service has announced the creation of Customs Police. The Controller General of NCS, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, retired, said the creation of Customs Police is to serve as an internal mechanism to check and ensure discipline among its personnel. He disclosed this during the commemoration of International Customs Day held in Abuja. He said it is essential to have an internal mechanism to check and ensure discipline. According to him, the Customs Police were trained at the Nigeria Military Police School in Zaria, Kaduna State, as securing borders is one of the challenges of the service. On the foreign scene, at least 10 Malian soldiers were killed today in an attack on their camp, and the restive North blamed on jihadists. Military sources said the camp in Sompi, Timbuktu region was targeted this morning by armed men. The local official confirmed the death toll of the attack and said 5 wounded men were transferred to the town of